Hey guys, my name is Melanie Ludy and welcome back to my channel. So this week we're going to talk about one of my favorite programs in the Google Suite. I probably live in this program more than any other, Google Slides. So I have to make an activity for my 7th graders for next week, and it's a drag and drop activity with word banks and objects that have to be moved. I'm going to put some questions in it, and it's going to cover a lot of things that I love about Google Slides, so I thought I'd just take you along with me while I did it. Kill two birds with one stone, you know? All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my folder so that I can put it in the correct thing and stay organized. So I'm going to make a Google Slides presentation and we'll go blank. First thing I got to do is I'm going to make a drag and drop activity about the 3 states of water and how energy changes between the 3 states, because we're going to talk about the water cycle this week. So I already took a picture from the textbook that my school uses, and I'm just going to modify it a little bit so then my students can drag and drop colored arrows onto it. First thing I'm going to do is title the activity. So what do I want to call this? I'm going to call this Water Cycle States and Processes. First tip, Control M will get me a new slide. Don't forget to title your slides document at the top. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is let's upload that picture first. I'm going to actually get rid of this text box because I have a feeling it's going to be in the way. And then I'm going to go to this little insert image here. I'm going to go to Drive because I already put it in my Drive. And I want this one. Insert. Okay, so this is way too small for it to be functional, but I can crop a lot of this to make it a lot more useful. So I'm going to crop this part out. Make sure you get the right one. You want the black bars, not the blue. It always grabs the blue first, which annoys me, but we get it done. And then we can make this much bigger. I have these red and blue arrows on there already, but I want my students to put them up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put white blocks over those on the master so that they can't move those white blocks, and then I will put in red and blue arrows for them to put on the document as like a drag and drop kind of thing. So I'm going to go to slide and then I'm going to go edit master. And we'll pick this one and I'm going to put my picture on here. So those red lines, those are the guides. So that'll tell me that I'm in that top corner there. So I'm going to put in some boxes now. So let's see, I need some squares. And I'm going to go and just put these over that. Control C to copy. Control V to paste, and I can just move these. Click the circle at the top to rotate it. That'll work for me. Let's rename this States of Water Cycle. So let's go back to my slides here. So I'm going to delete this actually, and I'm going to change the layout to this water cycle one. And then you see this is all here, and I can't move these boxes, so my students won't be able to accidentally delete them or do anything like that. All right, so now I need to create some red and blue arrows. Key to come up so they know what they're looking for. So let me go back to my master and let me just uncrop that a little bit. All right, now let's come back to the slide. You see it's been updated here. Put in some shapes. Where are my shapes? Shape, here we go. Arrows, perfect. We're gonna pick just this one. All right, and then, so I made that one, and I'm gonna pick my little paint bucket. There it is. And I'm gonna make it red. So then I need to put directions in there. So I'm actually gonna make that on the master. So I added those directions that again can't be moved. Oh, I have some more pictures we gotta label, and I wanna make a word bank. So let's go back to my master here. So here I'm gonna do that labeling for the water in the atmosphere. All right, so I'm gonna create my second round of labeling. So let me add those pictures. So if you add multiple pictures at once, it puts them in one thing and it assumes you want them as one image, which makes it a pain in the butt. So add them one at a time. So then we'll come over here and we'll do Control M for a new slide, and we'll change the layout to be the process labeling. Here we go. So then they can click to add text here, and I'm just gonna put in some dots for them. You know what? I think it might make better sense to do it as drag and drop too. All right, let's go back to the master. All right, we're gonna do this. And we're gonna delete this and we'll make it as drag and drop boxes. We'll get rid of this text box here. So then let's go back over here and then we're gonna just insert text. So evaporation, and we'll make it that way. And then so they're all the same size. I'll do this. And then I'll just change the text for each one. All right, we got our word bank, we got our stuff over here. Let's give some directions so it's a whole drag and drop activity, and then I want to add a question. So you can also duplicate a slide, Control D. So if you wanted to have 2 copies of it for some reason, it'll duplicate everything on there, including anything you've added. Wonderful for when you're making teaching lessons. But actually, I want to change this layout. So I want to we'll do this one. All right, so question. Oh dear. And then I can just do that to select all those and delete it. Wonderful. All right, so now I'm gonna add, you know what, I think I'm gonna make another master. So, all right, so then let me add, honestly, I love to add a table and just one because it creates this nice long box for me, which is perfect for students to answer questions. I do it all the time in Google Docs. This table will also get bigger if they needed to, if they type more than I think they'll need. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my rubrics to this. All right, so this is just a generic rubric that I've had made. So that activity looks good now. Perfect. We talked about how to edit master slides so that these things can't be moved by your students, okay? We talked about slide shortcuts, Control M and Control D. So Control M for a new slide, Control D for duplicating the slide. Drag and drop activities with the arrows and the word bank. We talked about the guides. So let's talk about how I make my slides for teaching. So this is actually the slides template that I use for my lessons. So let's check out this master first. I color coordinate my slides. So my pink is for my introduction kind of thing. My orange is for my housekeeping stuff that I have to go over for each lesson. Yellow is we open the activity and we kind of like send them off to do it. Green is the order of work, and my gray is just my exit slip at the end. I very rarely will get to the blue and purple at the bottom just because I don't have that many sections in my slide. I feel like my students do better with just kind of like 3 main things. Even when I use these slides to record my videos, I'll maybe only get to like green or blue. Because if it's too many different things we're going over, it's just too much content for them to cover in a week. So in here, I just made the background of this pink by clicking the background, and I chose a color. I then have my title, my subtitle in here. I do my objective and agenda with 2 different text boxes. And then I have all these colors here. So let's check out my slides template here. This is the slides template that I made for my lessons. This is actually available as a freebie on my Teachers Pay Teachers store. So go ahead and find the link in the description box to go over and get yourself a copy of this. But I want to show you what a completed version looks like too. So this one I have made square. The one that is on my Teacher Pay Teachers store is the rectangle fills the whole screen if you present it. So I will include both for you. My first slide is just an early arrival kind of thing. I tell my students to work on some of their out of class activities while they wait for me to take attendance and do other things. Then I have my do now, my objective and agenda on here. So then I get into my orange stuff, which is my housekeeping. So like my end of lesson quizzes I talk about, and then some other housekeeping for group roles that we did that day. My yellow slide here and here, those are my activity for the day. And then my gray slide is my exit slip at the end of class. Usually I will have a few minutes left at the end and they can have some work time. So that's what the green slide is for. It tells them the things that they should be working on and the things they need to get done. I like to download this slide, the order of work slide, and then post it to my Google Classroom so that students have that with them so they know what they should be working on. If I want to do that, I can go File, and then download, and then I can pick current slide for an image, or I could download it as a PowerPoint if I'm partial to Microsoft, PDF, anything like that. And then I can use that and I can post it as an image somewhere. So the students can't edit it, but they can still see it. I hope you enjoyed that video on Google Slides. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below and leave me a comment if you did. I'd love to know what you thought and where I should keep going with these videos. Also, hit that subscribe button down below so you get notified whenever I create a new video. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!